Hi everybody and welcome to Scott Shapes. So the angle seems a little bit odd, the background seems different, but that's because I'm in a hotel. I'm on vacation. I debated about doing a shave on vacation or not, but as you can see I have multiple days of growth here. So what do I have in store? What do I use when I'm traveling for shaving, right? So first off, I have this is a safety razor hard case that I use for traveling. In here, it holds a safety razor and some blades over here, all right? And you can see this is rather long. This is a fat boy in there, and you can see there's lots of room yet for it. So I brought my fat boy. I have some Lord blades in this thing. But what do you use for soap? Well, I'm going to show you a couple different little things that you can use for soap. You guys have seen me use conditioner, right? And you know, any conditioner you got. What's nice about this hotel is this one has a very big conditioner container in here on the wall. So if I need conditioner, I can get all the conditioner I want. And just so you can see, here's my little shaving rig. My camera rig. I have the ice thing rigged up with the thing tilting sideways, and then my phone just resting on the edge of it. And just like that, we have a camera stand. The lighting in here is pretty good too. I like the one thing about these types of mirrors, they're illuminated behind. They make your eyes glow, and you just look really good in them, right? So I rather like these mirrors. I like to look at myself and go, I'm not looking too bad, but I have I'm going on like 5 or 6 days growth. So am I looking forward to this shape? Not necessarily, especially with a Lord Super Chrome blade. I don't know that I've ever used these. I don't even know why they're in here, but I'm going to use them because that's what I got. I have a wedding to go to tomorrow, and I don't want to look like a bum, so it is what it is, right? So the technique that I'm going to be using today is I'm going to be taking just a standard washcloth, right? There's nothing to it, and kind of tapping the end here like this, kind of like a ducktail, so to speak. And then I'm going to be just taking the bar of soap that we have here, and I'm going to be working it and then roughing it on my face, similar to that of a brush, okay? So let's go ahead and get my face wet here. Let's get the soap a little wet. Get this touch wet here. And then you're just going to work it in the soap, right? What you're going to be doing is you're going to be acting and using this sort of like a soap and brush that you would use. So I'm kind of just loading the soap up here. And soap is something that a number of people have used and still use. I've seen a couple posts of people using ivory soap and so on and so forth. And I mean, this doesn't get you a good lather, but what it does give you is it gives you a lot of slickness. See, I have so much growth that I could actually just take this bar of soap, get my face nice and wet, and I could work it up. I have so much growth, but if you don't have a lot of growth, you're going to need to work it in there with that towel. So as you can see here, and then wet my hand to kind of work it up. And no, it's not going to be the world's greatest lather, but it's going to give me a nice slick coating for use here. Alright, so go ahead and rinse off your hand. You don't want to be dealing with a wet razor or wet hand on a razor and possibly dropping it. Heat up my razor head here. Here we go. First pass. And this is, I'm on setting 3, so it's very mild. And man, this is nice and smooth shave. And as you can see, the fat boy here, for as much days growth that I have, is doing what it does best. It's plowing through it. Go ahead and rinse out. So, can't say I've ever used that blade with these blades, but these are pretty good blades. I like them. They're a nice mild blade. Setting 3, this is a pretty good combination. It's plowing through the whiskers here, as you can see. And it's going through them relatively smooth, so not a bad blade. Don't know exactly where they came from, because when I grabbed that and packed it, it was just kind of in there, and I said, oh, there's blades, I'm using them. No. I'm only a 2 shave pass kind of person. So, here's a little story for you. My wife's got some stuff going on. Well, we had a trip planned for my daughter's birthday. Oh, my wife was unable to attend. So it would have been my daughter's 6th birthday yesterday. She turned 6. Well, Mom wasn't able to go on vacation with us due to some stuff. And, meaning my wife was going to miss her 6th. Our one and only daughter. We don't have other kids. She was going to miss her 6th birthday. And it involved, getting down to Chicago to go to the aquarium and stuff. I'm just wetting it up because it was getting a little bit dry, so it wasn't as slick. Going to the aquarium on Wednesday, and then on her birthday we were going to go to the American Girl style store and the Lego store and all that on her actual birthday, which was Thursday, and going from there. Well, my wife wasn't able to go. Well, I had hotel reservations that were non-cancelable, and we're tickets that were not refundable at Shed's Aquarium. So somewhere to the tune of $700, somewhere in that range, because we were staying at the scale hotel down on the mile there, and we didn't want to throw away the reservations, so my wife decided to stay behind. Well, any of you who are parents can imagine how this would make you feel, right? Being the parent of one and only kid, and you're not going to be there for their 6th birthday. And in my life, I only recall turning 6 once. I remember when I was, 21. It seemed like that night repeated like 3 nights in a row or something, But anyway, so my wife wasn't going to be there. And so we found out this news the day before. We were supposed to all go as a family to Chicago. And, any parent would be distraught. They're not going to see their kid on their birthday, especially their one and only. And, it's not exactly a thought. So some crying ensued and so on and so forth. Well, I'll be damned if my wife's not going to see my daughter on her 6th birthday. So I started looking at time frames of when things were open and when things weren't going to be open and so on and so forth. And kind of came up with a game plan of when to leave, because Shed's Aquarium now has your things on like slotted time slots. So got a game plan together on Tuesday when we were going to leave Wednesday morning and be able to do sheds and so on and so forth without telling my wife. A surprise is not a very good surprise if she knows about it, right? So I did my research, did my homework, and came up with a game plan of knowing that we would arrive in Chicago and have time to make it to... See, now that I don't have a lot of hair there, now I need to use washcloth to get that little slickness. But we arrived in Chicago in the early afternoon, made it to the American Girl style store, closes at 6. And then went to Sheds, did the Sheds thing, me and my daughter did. And then after Sheds, we hit up the Lego store. You know, these are all things that a kid, especially 6, who's never been to any of these is gonna love. So we went to all of these by 6:30, 7 o'clock. We're back to the hotel, we ordered room service, spent the night, woke up the next day, bright and early, got in the car, then as I stopped to get gas, told Mom, hey, you know, the Lego store doesn't open till 11, so, you know, blah, 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 we're getting breakfast, and, you know, just feeding her the whole hook, line, and story, sinker story, and, we, got back home from Chicago, and then, I texted my wife and said, hey, one of those razors I had bought is in the mailbox. I just got delivery confirmation. Can you go out and grab it? Someone's always home, so we're always on top of getting the mail. I don't want someone ganking one of my really expensive rare razors. That would not be a happy camper. So she walks out, and guess who's in the yard? Me and my daughter. And my wife broke down in tears because I was not going to let her not see our daughter on her birthday. It was not going to happen. For once, a man managed to make and stick to a schedule. That's a scary thought, isn't it? Any ladies who possibly watch my channel? So we made a schedule, we stuck to it, we surprised Mom, she didn't have a clue at all, and that's how it went down, you know. Well, today, now we are way up north, 400 miles to the north, and 6-hour car ride later, here we are, me and my daughter. For a wedding tomorrow. So the wedding was not as important, right? You know, my wife wanted to come, but hey, the important thing was she got to see her on her birthday. Mission accomplished. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things, man. I haven't missed anything as a parent. I've been really lucky, you know. My wife is a stay-at-home mom. I am a working parent. But luckily for us, I have not missed anything. I have seen my daughter's first steps. I have seen her first words. I didn't miss anything. I was there during the potty training weekend. Yes, weekend. It was a weekend for us. I was there for the nighttime potty training. And y'all gonna hate me, any of you who are parents, but it was a one-day deal for us. My daughter had like 3-something, younger 3, came out and decided I don't want to wear pull-ups to bed anymore. Literally, like that. She was potty trained. Potty trained and nighttime trained. We did the let her go on her own time. Tell you what, worked out amazingly. You know, yeah, was she older? You know, she was just over 3 when she potty trained, in like 3 and 3 months or something with the nighttime training. But she did it on her own. That's the thing. We let her do it on her own. You know, she knew that Mom and Dad, you know, we didn't wear diapers. She went to the bathroom with us and was quite aware that we don't wear diapers and stuff. And when she was conscious enough, so to speak, she made her own choice to no longer want to do it, you know? So it's one of those things. Kids are their own people. Yes, they are a product of their parents, but they are also as much their own person. And we have raised our daughter very much so with that mindset that she is her own person. We let her make her own choices with our guidance, obviously. She's not a hellion by any means. You know, we often get praise for how well behaved she is. because I don't let her act out and you know, and get her way and so on and so forth. But we do let her choose her own, what clothes she wants to buy and what toys she wants to spend money on and stuff like that. We don't force anything on her, you know. And so far it's paid out in spades. My daughter is very much ahead of the curve with her education. She's excelling in dance and gymnastics. She's with kids that are up to as much 4 years older than her, and she's keeping up with them according to the coaches and has accelerated well beyond her years. So, you know, and it's all, we just let her choose her own thing. You know, like I said, we don't let her take advantage and she doesn't act out. She is taught to treat people with respect because, you know, unfortunately, there's not enough of that in the world these days. So, those of you who know me I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I do have some really strong beliefs on things, obviously. But, you know, it is what it is. So, anyway, people are all people. I love all people equally. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, don't care. What I do care is to know you as a person. Who are you? You know, what are your beliefs and stuff? Because cultures around the world are so fascinating. I've had roommates from India. I've had roommates from South Korea. I know a lot about China, you know. I know, you know, it was funny. One of our cab drivers in Chicago, I got in the car and I go, it was funny. He goes, you know, he pulled up to us first off and just goes, hey, you got masks? I said, well, yeah. He goes, okay, city policies, you can't get in without masks. I said, okay, whatever. And then, you know, we were talking about this and that and whatever else. And I go, just out of curiosity, where are you from? Because I've never been in one taxi, not Uber or Lyft, one taxi, that was American, to be honest. I mean, they're American, they live here now, but you know what I mean. A naturalized citizen, meaning they were not born here. They were born elsewhere, but came here as a citizen. And I looked at him and listened to his accent closely, and I go, you're from the Middle East, and my guess is you're from Lebanon, you're Lebanese. He goes, that is good, that's impressive. And I go, yeah, I have an ear for accents. That's one thing I've always tried to do, is get to know people, where they're from, and everything, because it just fascinates me. That is one of my biggest fascinations, is learning where people are from. And that's one thing that this community has allowed me to do, is to reach out to people from all over the world. You know what's great is I sold a razor to a guy in Australia whose wife and kids are Aborigine. His kids are like giants. They're like 6.5 foot tall, big dudes. They're Aborigine. It was great. I mean, he was a white guy from Britain, I think, or something like that. Or maybe just, you know, Australian or whatever. But his wife was from, you know, the tribes there. She was Aborigine. It was fantastic. It's just to talk to him and stuff. And I know him on Facebook, and we talk every now and then about stuff, you know. It's everything, you know, like Thomas Wilkie in here, one of our winners. The guy got blades. I sent blades to Australia. He was one of our my first giveaway winner, you know. Just because, you know, it's Australia. I've got a friend in New Zealand, a couple in Great Britain now. I mean, yes, most people I talk to are from the U.S., but not everybody is, and it's great, you know. I love it. So, anyways, I digress. All right. I appreciate you all seeing my on vacation shave. No cuts. Isn't the closest shave, but you know, soap has somewhat to do with that. But I got a pretty good shave. Good enough. 5 o'clock shadow. All well. Who cares? I feel personally I look alright with a 5 o'clock shadow. So, thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all stay classy. And in the name of science, raw and unedited, this is Scott at Scott Shaves.